Well, it sure as hell has been a while. Taking a short break here in the middle of a recovery run, a small relaxed run. We are in the middle of our recovery week of block 5, which is the last real training block. And yeah, for anybody who's been paying attention, we did not make a video for block 4. Life got in the way lately. I've had a change of role at work, and that period of the year is always pretty busy with family and a few different events. So I'm sorry, I apologize for neglecting this channel. We do hope to start producing more content in the next few weeks. I know I say this every time, but it is what it is. Other than this quick update, we're working on a video for our longest run that we did of the whole program. Was last Saturday, and I'm currently working on editing this video. That's the first quick channel update. And we have a few other things in the pipeline, and then the race is coming quickly. The race is in about a month, so I plan on recording a bunch of stuff, shooting a bunch of stuff during the race and the days leading up to it, so stay tuned, there's more stuff coming. Now, back to the point. Training update, end of block 5. I wanted to do a good update of both block 4 and block 5, but by now, I mean, block 5 is almost over, and the details of how block 4 went are starting to be a bit murky. I haven't been as diligent as I should have been with my training log, so it is what it is. I'll provide update about block 5, and maybe we'll go back to block 4 at a later point, but I doubt it. So how did block 5 go? Well, it's starting to be intense. Block 5 is the biggest block of the whole training program, and it shows. I'm in my recovery week now, but the last weekend was a big, harsh weekend, and our legs are still feeling a little bit tired and heavy. Today is the first day that I start to feel a spring back in my steps, so that's good. But overall, it was a good training block, but it was a challenging training block. The length and duration of our runs are starting to be quite longer, and as I said, this is a busy period of the year for us. We have our wedding anniversary and there's other family events, so I had to schedule around that, and this forced me to skip a few workouts, which is not ideal, but it is what it is. We still cranked up the volume quite a bit during this training block, with a few very big weeks, and I'm happy with how my body responded. We had a bit of an issue during our long run, our Saturday long run last week, but I'll discuss this more into the video that I'm editing that is all about that race, that run I mean. But all in all, I have to say that I did not succeed into doing everything that I was supposed to do in block 5, and this raises a few concerns, but at the same time I'm feeling good, and there's a few races that really help build my confidence and my faith in myself. So yeah, this was big during block 5. The other thing is that we started working a lot on the mental aspect of it. So I started reading race reports from people, including a friend of mine who ran the 50K race that I'm registered for. He ran it a few years ago, and I ran his race report multiple times, and since I've run part of the course, I was able to visualize myself and then try to remember how I felt on those different parts of the course, and imagine how I would feel after more mileage doing the same parts and stuff like that. And I now have a very strong mental image of me running the race. So that was good. Another thing that helped on that aspect is the last run that I did, last big run that I did, I should say, I decided to wear my whole race kit, the exact clothes, shoes, socks, everything that I'm going to wear for race day. And again, this helped me put me into that state of mind, and it built up my confidence again. Like now I know that I can trust my gear. I know that I've identified the perfect race kit, and that's been huge. The last aspect of our race preparation is nutrition. And we've experimented with a few things. We've identified things that work, things that don't work so well. I tend to go on a pretty steady eating every 45 minutes schedule when running long distances. And like most of that comes from gels and bars, but I've started trying to experiment with different things that I know I will find at aid stations. So again, I identified things that do not work so much and a few things that really work well for me. So I think I have things pretty dialed in, and by that I mean I know what I want to eat. Now it's just the next step is just lining that up in a plan for the day. Like I know how much time it should take me to reach the first aid station and then the second and stuff like that. So I want to make a plan, like let's say like by the time I reach the first aid station, I'm going to be that much time in, then 15 to 20 minutes later I want to take a bar, and then at that time a gel, and then when I reach the second aid station, grab some other things there and stuff like that. The thing though is that probably partly because it's my first ultra, so I still don't exactly know how long it's going to take me. I want to plan on carrying a lot of extra food with me, and I find myself carrying a ton of gels and bars. So I don't know, I'm still going to play with that a little bit to try to dial it in a little more. So yeah, there's that. So what's our plan for the next block? We still have, like as I said, I'm in the recovery week at the end of block 5 right now. Next week we have a pretty big week, and then things are starting to dial down. So we have a pretty big week for week 21. Then it scales down a little bit for week 22. Then we have 2-week taper that are going to end up that are going to finish with our race on Saturday, October 23rd. I don't know if I've mentioned this in the past on the channel, but the race we're running is the Ultra Trail du Grand Duc. It's located near Quebec City, which is a place I grew up in. It's a gorgeous national park. I'm going to put the details in the link below. I think they still have a few spots left for the 33K, the 50K, and the 66K. I'm running the 50 as my first ultra. I figured this is plenty enough. Yeah. So getting excited. I'm starting to have pre-race jitters already. So yeah, the next month is going to be exciting. I'll try to do more videos about my race prep, about my nutrition and things like that, and I'll show you what gear I plan on training and what's my nutrition plan for the race. Then the last few days before the race, I'm going to be moving to a small cabin that I rented in the national park where the race is happening. It's going to allow me to focus and center. I'm going to be there all by myself. My wife and son, I'm going to come meet me on race day, I think. So this is it. This was our Block 5 update, along with a few small channel updates and a few points about what's coming next. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like this video, click like and subscribe. I see we have a few new subscribers lately. Welcome aboard. I'll try to put more content more frequently. Stay tuned. Keep on running. Thanks for watching.